I don't do texting.
Oh, I don't text. It's just, like I said, it's texting. It's just typing in a message and say, I don't do
Yes.
voicemail or anything like that. So, I guess I do text.
Minimum.
I did once.
While I'm thinking about how do you get numbers when you're typing on a...
I'll show you.
There's an alternative screen,
I knew there was.
like on the iPad.
Ah.
That much experience.
The leitmotif for this visit has been, well, we were going to get one of those, but that seems like a pain in the ass. We're not going to do that. That's too much work. This is not worth the effort. This thing doesn't work worth a damn.
Oh, I think it was. Doesn't know it was a damn.
Well, you know, technology is as technology is owned, I suppose. Ah, that was nice.
During the Olympics, the first Olympics where they did the quad jump, the ice skaters.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And it seemed impossible, right?
One of the skaters that had been around for a couple of times, a few seasons, when they were asking him about that, he said, you know, for these up-and-coming kids, they start out doing this, and it's no big thing to them. But he said for the rest of us that have been doing the triple jumps for a while, it's really
it's
hard.
It's the holy grail, right?
It's really hard to shift the thinking.
From what is expected to what is extraordinary, or the other way around.
So who's going to come up with a 5? You know, you just got to get tougher and tougher.
It's amazing. All of it.
Oh, you probably, I was just going to grab those.
What I think is amazing, there's some really wonderful stuff for mobility for seniors coming up. Little things that you can fit on. It's wonderful. I mean, it's right now. Not just sit in the chair.
Well, not to sound like a complete crank, it sure strikes me that that's great when you need it, but I bet a bunch of people might not need it if they knew what was possible.
Yeah, if the movement, if they would do.
Oh, I totally agree.
You know?
Movement. Totally agree.
Instead of saying, well, I'm bound to end up in a wheelchair, but maybe I should start working on my spine now. Oh, I know you are.
But with your husband, really getting him to get some twisting back into his spine is going to change a lot of things for him.
Not a thing of it. Yeah, he's just so stiffy.
No, he won't be in so much pain because his system will have more alternatives as to how to move to mobilize.
More options for getting around that clearly impaired joint.
Yes.
He doesn't tell me anything about his health because that's me nagging. Evidently, it's all in the works. He goes to see the specialist on the 11th. I'll be going to Crucible now. I would like to visit, but I'm not going to visit because of anything. Anyway, then the specialist will refer you back to this physio, which is supposed to get to someone, and they'll postulate, what do you do now in the interim? Well, he didn't tell me any of that. So I said, just would it be a good idea to go back and learn? I've already done that. Thank you. So it puts me in a position of not, and then having to.
That's nature relationships. What we do reinforces the patterns we already have, you know? Why don't you? Just for fun.
Oh, I'm so stiff.
He is so stiff. I think, you know, I had a conversation with him, something I was trying to figure out, you know, because I was kind of surprised at how impaired and how much less of him there is there than the last time I saw him.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a year. And I thought, well, let's try to make sense of it. And so I asked him as carefully and respectfully as possible, are you thinking in some way that you just are in a holding pattern right now and you're not going to do anything one way or the other because everything depends upon the surgery and everything will be fine afterwards and then you can build yourself back up, kind of like you're just in hiatus? And he said, yeah, pretty much. And I said,
not right.
That explains.
The deterioration.
Right, because you're not actually static. You're just not doing anything to prevent, exactly.
You can't, there's no such thing as staying static.
There's backwards or forwards. God. But I understand that psychologically he's just sort of dissociated himself, like, wait till I get this new joint, everything will come back together. Like, oh, Dad, it's going to be such a bitch when you do. With the muscles that are much smaller than they were even just a year ago. Well, not even the issue, smaller. not the aesthetics, obviously. It's the function.
Well, just
Whee!
twisting itself. You're going to turn over.
I think so.
You're going to lay on your back for me?
Oh my goodness.
I'm not sure about that.
Call her LL.
Do we? Well, all right.
Okay, quadra.
I like that. The camera angle's not making it as clear as it ought to be. That is much straighter than
On won't tell.
what? No, probably not.
Chrissy said she thought